Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to All About Mag. This is all about CFFL, where we talk about the Community Flag Football League. We're going to be reviewing the game week 3 matchups. And of course, today it's your host, Bobby of AAR Sports. And with me reviewing is.
I am the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, analytical, methodical individual, D. Adebola Undagba.
Yes, sir. And it's about to be an amazing wrap up today. 4 games as usual, a lot of exciting matchups, a lot of surprises. Debola, take us away.
All right, starting us off is the play of the week. For me, it'd have to be the Lions versus the Wolverines. Happiness, Mohsin, Victor. What a play.
That
Hmm.
there's nothing else to say. You already know I'm in agreement. That was the shock of the day. That was the play of the day. There was so much the aura from happiness. The stare down. There was a stare down after the Moss. He just kept looking at
Hmm.
like okay, now it's me. I'm the one that, yeah. And I just noticed something. This is Lions back-to-back play of the week for me, at least. I also thought they had play of the weeks. Well, they are just mossing people for fun this season. What's going on?
It seems that way. It
Yeah.
seems that way. Offensively, they are a masterclass team. So there's no surprise there. The shock is there every time, but once you think about it, there isn't really much of a surprise.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's been the play of the week. Next up, we're into score lines and storylines, where we break down all the team games and what happened in them. First up, we have the Spartans versus the Giants. The Spartans came in at 34 points, and the Giants came in at 7 points. Bobby, what are you thinking?
Spartans versus the Giants. The Giants just weren't clicking for me. I don't know. I've seen them the past couple of weeks. I've liked their run plays. I've liked their trick plays. They've used it to score some amazing touchdowns. But this game, it just didn't work out for them. The thing that has been working out for them is a shout out to their new QB. I think I mentioned her before, the female QB. She has scored back-to-back touchdowns now in games, and there's some level of efficiency there. And I think that's she's a silent threat for any team that's going against the Giants. The Spartans, of course, looked a lot more organized. The maturity and the experience that they had as a team. Of course, a lot of people came together, and some old faces returned, and we also saw some new faces as well. So much more compact units. Of course, didn't give them the chance to play a lot. Defense was looking as solid as ever. Picks all over the place. The Spartans are back, guys.
Yes, and for me, I have to give it to the Spartans. So initially, right, when the game first started, the Spartans scored first and they were on a roll. But in my mind, I was thinking, this doesn't really look like the championship team that people talk about,
Hmm.
right? But as time went on and the game went on, you start to see the little things that start to click, right? A play doesn't go right here. No one is shouting, no one is complaining. Everyone is thinking next play. The ball is caught, the flag is pulled. The center is, I think her name is Uju, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, so she's immediately going to the ball and giving it to the ref, getting the ball down. It's like next
Yeah.
play, next play, next play. Little things like that. And in my head, I'm just like, so this is where the championship team like comes from. And I'm gonna put my neck on the line here and really like put a call out to everyone on the league. Like you should aspire to be like the Spartans. The mentality this team has is top notch.
I have to agree. I have to agree. Absolutely. Because championship mentality is not only just by playing on the field, it's not by the plays alone, it's not by executing, it's also by how how do you work as a team mentally going forward. And you highlighted it perfectly. That's a strength that is hidden with the Spartans. There you hardly find them discombobulated on the sideline if things are not going their way. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a note here. I have a special shout out to Talamatu and Farouk from the Spartans. They were really key and crucial with all
Yeah,
their catches today.
Salamatu.
So,
Yeah, there's this consistency that Salamatu always brings to the team. So it's very it's we're I'm kind of used to it now. I'm used to her consistency, and it's just for her to keep it going. And yeah, like
yeah,
the Spartans behavior, they're gonna get better as the season goes.
yes. Moving on to the second game, we have the Outlaws versus Liquid Sports Club. And for this one, I want to first look at our predictions, right? Bobby, you predicted 36-0 and I predicted 30-0. And we were both right, but we were both wrong, right? So you had the score closer to the actual final score, and
Yeah.
I had the prediction that this game would go to the end, like all the way to the end. And it did go all the way to the end. Outlaws got the mercy rule final good, but it took them the whole 50-minute game to get that mercy rule. So,
Absolutely. And for me, that's respectable with LSC. That's what I want to see in every game. In fact, the Messi rule just happened. Last play, pretty much last minute of the game. I feel the score does not do this game justice. LSC were in it. They made some stop.
I,
They had some good plays. They've had some amazing first down. Shout out Greg. Some key catches, some stuff that got people excited. This score does not do this game justice, and I think LSE can be proud of that. They just didn't get on the board, but it was a good watch. The scary thing for me about the Outlaws, I just want to point out, is, I'm just going to highlight one player. We're still yet to see the best of Farouk. He hasn't really shown anything yet. And they are
yeah,
already where they are right now. So that's the scary thing for me. So when he hits form, what just think about the options for them for Tayo, and it's a scary outfit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Disclaimer, Farouk on the Outlaws, not to be confused with Farouk on the Spartans. But
Yeah.
yes,
Let's see the battle
this was a
of Farouk
very,
number one. There's an ongoing battle there. Who is Farouk number one? Let's see where they end.
we'll have to see. But in the meantime, moving on to the third game, we have a rivalry that has been told to me so many times, the Lions versus the Wolverines. I have to first go to our score predictions because we were way off. Bobby, you had 34-18 to the Lions, and I had
To the
48-49 to the Wolverines. We were both off. The score was Lions 26 and Wolverines 13. Bobby, your thoughts?
Yo, this game can be summarized with one word. Strapped City like mad from the Lions. The Lions defense stood up. I know we talk about the Lions offense. We've been talking about the Lions offense since, because the Lions offense is amazing. But the
Yep.
defense in this game completely took the game by the scruff of the neck. No wasted, like the bat downs, the stops, the pick, from everything from the get-go. Bandana was having fun on the side. Like, that's his bread and butter. The
Yep.
flag pulls. No, I don't think they even missed one flag today. I can't remember, but defense executed like mad, and the Lions can be extremely proud about that. Um, Second thing, I think, of course, for Wolverines just, I mean, they fought, but the Lions were just better on defense. They were just better defensively than the Wolverines were offensively. So if we're looking at
Yep.
what I
Yep.
think the Wolverines could actually, maybe they were looking for, maybe they needed more support on third and female. They needed more executions there to actually get them, on the scoreboard more, and execute more, just drive more. So that's probably where they needed more help. And At the end of the day, it's a good time to get a loss for the Wolverines, but kudos to the Lions. Speaking of the third and female of the Wolverines, the third and female of the Lions, and just the females generally, happiness, picks, um, and of course we know the Moss. So yeah, great game, game of the day,
Mhm.
like mad.
Yep, yep. I agree. I agree. Game of the day. Any for the Wolverines, the third and female quarterback, played today, and this being her first game back, right? There were definitely some first game jitters that needed to be overcome. But I'm looking at, the next game, and I see a little bit of improvement on the horizon, you know. But considering who they have next, we have to kind of play that down just a little. Just a little, not a lot. A
Yeah,
little.
we'll talk about that, but it's something to prove because again, yeah, well, I think once they get it right, it's the Wolverines, particularly the third and female, is stacked. Once they get it right, once they get that synergy, it's gonna be a problem.
I agree. I agree. But moving on to the final game for week 3, we have the Hawks versus the Titans. Let's look at our score predictions. Bobby, you had 15 to 45, 15 for the Hawks and 45 for the Titans. I, as a proud Titans member, for those of you who do not know, had the Titans smoking the Hawks 35-0. However, the score tells a different story. Hawks 24, and the Titans with 42. Bobby, your thoughts?
The Hawks looked way better than last week. It was not the best game against the Lions in that loss. They looked way better, way better. Um, Way more competition. David Prosper got into the game. Prosper, oh my goodness. So many amazing, catches, so many amazing plays from him in this game. Um, but what was shocking in this game, they came out with the win, but the missed flags from the Titans, there was a lot, the leaky defense was the problem. That was the problem. The offense did what they had to do from the Titans. The brilliance, the talents, of course, um, came out and we actually saw what we expected. But you see that defense, the missed flags were it was just it was glaring that there was a problem. And that's the thing with Titans games, you know that you're gonna have fun. That's what you can count on. You know that it's gonna be a good watch. Whether you're hate watching, which a lot of people do, or whether you're supporting the Titans, the game is gonna be fun. You're hardly ever gonna see a game that Titans are gonna play and it's gonna be boring. So I know from the Titans camp, they will not be happy with, of course, how many points the Hawks scored. You'll be able to tell us more about that. But the Hawks look better. I'm happy that they've, of course, improved from last game. And yeah, again, the same way I ended the last Titans review, the Titans came out with a win. So happy days.
Yep. On my end, and with the insider information that I'm privy to,
Yeah.
it was a good offensive showing from the Titans. For everyone paying attention, the Titans are now averaging 42 points through all 3 games of
Hmm.
this season, which is very interesting to look at.
Very high.
So, like you said, Bobby, the offense is doing what they need to do. Defensively, there are some holes that need plugging. There are some
Hmm.
holes that need plugins. The Titans need to tighten up. All right.
Pun intended.
I'm gonna let that sink in.
Yeah.
The Titans need a tighten ship. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna let that sink in. Okay.
Ah, okay. All right.
But yeah.
I just read this. Okay, my bad. I missed it the first time. I missed the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But at the same time, big credit to Stunts and Evelyn for the Titans, right? They were big for us. They were big for us this game. And just generally, like the offense was clicking. The defense, right? Even with the holes and all of that, right? You still have key plays from veteran players like Juice. And I think I'm trying to remember a female had a pick, Virtue. Virtue.
Virtue.
I remember Virtue being your player to watch for the season.
Yep.
She came away with a pick,
Yep.
Tony toe tap off the sideline pick, which was, I'm telling you, I saw it in 4K. It was incredible. It was
Yeah.
incredible.
Wait, that's two picks and one, and then the second one's a pick six, right? She ran
Yes, so
all the
Virtue
way.
did have a pick six
Yeah,
as well.
she did. She
Yes.
did. Yeah. Wow.
Wow. Yes.
Great game from Virtue. But just
Yep.
want to piggyback off the two players you mentioned. Funny enough, or would I say sad enough? Just back to what I think I mentioned last week about um about safeguarding. We need to play safely. Yes. What do I mean? What do I mean about that? What do I mean when I say that? I mean, I'm talking about injuries. Evelyn through the past few weeks has been having a lot of injuries and collisions. Of course, we saw Stunt get injured today. Hopefully he gets better soon. But beyond the Titans players, just generally for the whole league and for all the teams, please let's just play carefully. We know what's coming up. We know what's happening in the world of flag football right now. We know that there's an international tournament that's about to happen. We have a lot of amazing players on different teams. We don't want to jeopardize our chances just because they played in their league and then they got injured. Yes, the tournament is still some months away, but you don't know the kind of injury that someone can get. It's just to be safe as possible. Let's play as careful as possible, and hopefully we're able to get players recover in time for the international championships.
Yep. Yep. Very important. Safety, a big thing for everyone. But going to the table right now, just a quick run through of what's going on. The Titans and the Lions are at first and second position. We have the Outlaws with the third position, Spartans fourth, Wolverines fifth, Mavericks, Giants, Hawks, and LSC all follow in order. So that's the table.
I just want to point out something that I mentioned that when we did the power rankings, one of the biggest things I mentioned was that you see the top five are interchangeable. Anyone can finish above each other. Anybody there can beat themselves. And I just have to give a major, massive shout out to the Lions. The Lions have started this season hot, but it's lucky.
Yep.
They are the Lions coming off of course, the painful exits of the season before. They have started this
Mm-hmm.
season hot and they are just on the G right now. Position on the table is looking good, and it's setting up perfectly to look at, okay, how is the Titans versus Lions game gonna be? But that's still some way away. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Anybody in the top five literally can win this league.
That's it. That's it. Moving on to the next segment, we have around the league, team jerseys and league-wide standards. I will list out what I've got here, and Bobby, you will tell us about what we need to know. So I got Spartans having multiple jerseys on the team and also having their colors look like the Giants jersey. Was that a tactic or a tactical nuke? Bobby, what are you thinking?
Yeah, well, definitely not a tactic. I think just coming off, the season, that's just ended. Most teams didn't get new jerseys, because maybe it's not really, something that's pressing. So the mixing and the matching has been happening for a couple of teams, but we obviously like to see when it's uniformed, um, where every team member is wearing the same thing. In fact, I would even take it a step further. I would love to see where we get to the point where even the flags of the team, everybody is wearing the same color of flag. Some people now wear yellow, green flag. One person will wear all white. So, I know we're growing, but I know we're definitely gonna get there. Speaking of
Yeah,
ideals now. So yeah, just something that for everyone to note. We know where we are, we know we're growing, we know we're moving forward. So it's just going to be more intentional going forward. And hopefully we can achieve that unison and uniformity with, all of this stuff.
yep. Okay. The other things I have down here are LSC's jerseys that they've got. They look very nice, but I'd have to say the numbers are not particularly visible. So that is something it's a bit concerning. What were your thoughts?
Maybe the numbers are liquid, baby. So you can't see. Um,
It's lick.
but actually,
That's a good one.
one thing about about LSU's new jerseys. I mean, first of all, kudos to them for getting their jerseys, their first ever flag football jerseys, which is great. Happy for them. I will
Love
tell
that.
you that the jerseys are two-way jerseys. So the first one, which we saw today, is black, and I'll let them surprise us for the color that is on the reverse side. So yeah, they could work on the numbers, but at least I appreciate the uniformity that they had on the field.
Yep, yep. That is cool stuff. The next thing I have is a sort of warning to everyone, but also a caution, really. You
Yeah.
know, any non-approved league needs to not show up on your jerseys. We are the Community Flag Football League. So, you gotta have the Community Flag Football League on your jersey.
Yeah, when it's
But yeah,
time to show up correct. Probably
right,
didn't see
right,
what I did
right.
there, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, so it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so this last one, again, a warning, but also a caution, right? Players on the field specifically need to check their flags. We know today there was a pick six that did not count because someone whose name we will not mention, or at least I won't mention, hopped on the field, caught the ball, ran all the way, scored, and then it just didn't count. Why? No flags. So
I mean,
Bobby, your
for
thought?
every team, whenever that doesn't happen, I'm sure for the other team, it was a miracle that they ran all the way and they didn't score, so they'll be happy. And if for your own team, if you like, don't check flags. You're just gonna waste your amazing plays, because I can assure you that that play is not gonna, well, of course, didn't count, but it's also not like likely to show up on the highlights. So, um, just be more aware. And people on the sidelines, that's like one of your primary jobs to look at what's happening on the field. Of course, the people on the field they are just focused on the next play, the next play, the next play. You can think about and observe other things. So I put the blame, well, 50% on the player and 50% on the rest of the team that's outside watching.
Yep. Be your brother's keeper, your teammate's keeper. Because at the end of the day, you win as a team, lose as a team, championship as a team, and then, the other side of it as a team.
Except MVP.
Except MVP. Okay.